So guys, this is me walking through the streets of Beijing, just to give you an idea of what Beijing is like. So this is, let me just check my watch. So this is 22:57 at night. So Saturday evening, walk through the streets of Beijing. I'm walking through one area of Beijing to my home. Should take me around 15 minutes. I'm on a split screen. So I have one screen pointing to me, and I have one screen pointing to the street that I'm walking, and I should be maybe walking and talking for the next 20 minutes. So this version of my story is me being raw. And you can compare to what you think the streets of Beijing are like compared to what maybe the propaganda is telling you. BBC is telling you, Fox News or CNN or whoever it may be is telling you what the streets of Beijing are actually like compared to the reality. And this is the reality. I'm walking through the streets of Beijing on a Saturday evening at 11 o'clock in the evening, and it's quiet. I feel safe. I'm carrying a bag. I'm also walking with a video kit here, which has selfie, iPhone, the usual stuff. So I feel safe. This is a red light, so I'll pause here for a second. So you can see, as far as I'm concerned, the streets of Beijing are quite safe. I'm actually going to go this direction because this is the street that I would typically walk up when I'm walking this route. So I'm going to walk this direction here. Just ahead of me, it is quite warm tonight. I think it's about 26 degrees. It's been hot today, 34 degrees or 32 maybe. Beijing has been unusually wet in the last few weeks. This is Beijing, no issue. He's a happy guy. So there's no issue. I'm walking through the streets of Beijing, Saturday night, 11 o'clock in the evening. No one wants to shoot me, no one wants to rob me, no one wants to kill me. I feel quite safe. I don't know, you make up your own mind. There's a whole lot of stuff that maybe kick in the UK press, or particularly the UK press, and particularly the BBC. The BBC lays in a whole lot of anti-China stuff, which isn't helpful for me because the whole political thing plays a part on whether I manage to get home or not. I'm not sure they have the power that they used to have, and absolutely after Brexit, then I'm not sure if the whole UK power thing is really something that is important. So sometimes when I'm walking I would carry a towel because it can be really hot in the evening. The one thing here in China, when I'm crossing the road, the cars are usually quite careful of the pedestrians, so there's no crazy please get out of the way, blah blah blah. It's actually quite calm. As you can hear, the streets are quite calm. There's not a lot of noise. Maybe in the morning sometimes I can hear horns and maybe the odd police siren. But on the whole comparison thing, when I think of London or when I think of New York or some of these other American cities or UK cities that I've been in, then all I think of is the noise. So I'm walking right past what is called the SeaTac Centre, I may have showed this to you before, but the SeaTac Centre is otherwise known as the Zone. So it's the tallest skyscraper in Beijing. So over there is the SeaTac Centre, and as I point up with a street light, you'll see the size of the building. You know, it goes on for a while. I think it's something like maybe 100 floors or so. So as you see here again, I'm walking through the streets of Beijing here, no issue, no one's bothering me. Very free to do what I want to do. I'm shooting a video, no one's bothered to stop me to say anything. If you'd listened to the foreign press, the foreign media, they would maybe tell you that this wouldn't be allowed. I'm not sure. No one has stopped me. SeaTac Centre here, as you can see. So straight ahead of me is the SeaTac Centre. Let me just step out so I can show you what this looks like. Cars going by, it's busy, busy, busy. I point up, goes on for a long, long way up. This is a tall, tall building. I'm now walking past the CCTV tower. So the CCTV is probably the equivalent of the BBC in the UK. It's the state TV. So this is the CCTV building. This is the south gate. Let me show you what that looks like if I point up. You see CCTV. Yeah, and again I'm walking past the equivalent of the BBC. No one's stopping me, no one's saying anything to me, no one's bothering me. In fact, most people are just ignoring me as another crazy foreign person walking about with a camera. But yeah, this is life in Beijing. And I have a theory, I may have said this before. Let me just show you this. This is cool. This is the CCTV building, if you see that. That's cool, eh? So yeah, I have a theory, where in the West, in the UK, and in the US, they were really desperate to make sure that you think capitalism is the way. But actually, when you stop to think about what socialism actually means, you realise it's about looking after the community, looking after each other. And this is what I sense in China. I sense a feeling of community. I sense a feeling of looking after each other. No one really is out to game the system. Everyone is maybe looking after each other. There's a Beijing belly there. These guys. As I said, it's hot tonight. Maybe we start to question whether capitalism is equal and whether everyone's getting a fair shake of the dice or a roll of the dice or whatever. But certainly there's some questions to be asked. But when I go back home to London, I'm overwhelmed by the amount of homelessness. I'm overwhelmed by the amount of lack of future positivity, career options for people. And it just feels like there's something missing. It feels like something's not quite right. Let me just show you this. This is, I'll pause for a second. Let me just show you this. So this is the Dakosa. This is the CCTV tower, like I said. So I've just walked past the CCTV tower in Beijing, the capital of China, with a camera, talking to the camera. No one has said anything to me. No one stops me. There's cameras about here, obviously observing me, somebody somewhere. But that's the same as this is really cool. That's the same as any place that I would go to. London's actually one of the most craziest places for cameras. This is where it gets a bit crazy, crossing the road. So I've got cars coming from the left here, and I've also got a green light to be able to walk across the road. But for some reason, things haven't quite worked out the way they should. But I'm going to make a dash for it. I'm getting across the road. So, like I was saying, I'll come back to socialism. So there's a whole lot of noise in the US and the UK. It's socialism's this and socialism's that. I'm not sure if capitalism is the absolute answer. I'm confused, I think, by the fact that people in the West accept it, and the fact that we just presume that there's no other way. Capitalism has to be the way. So I'm not saying China has all the answers. This is not what I'm saying. I've had some feedback from some people who say, "Oh, Ian, you're so positive China." I'm not necessarily positive China. I'm more in a place of questioning why not? Why not UK? Why do we have so many people starving on the streets? Why do we have so many people during the winter dying of cold on the streets? I just don't really get it. I don't understand it. I really don't. Something is definitely missing. So that's what I'm challenging. Hey, want to talk? Where are you from, my man?
I'm from Pakistan.
Pakistan. I'm from Scotland.
Scotland?
Scotland,
Wonderful.
yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Why are you here in Beijing?
I'm working here, and today I just had an ice cream, and I'm just...
See, this is what I'm talking about. So this is what, 11 o'clock at night in Beijing.
Yeah.
He's walking about safe, I'm walking about safe, no one's bothering us.
Yep,
We're good friends, we've met each other tonight.
Just now.
This is the difference between Beijing, London, Glasgow,
True,
you know,
true.
the US.
True.
We're safe, we're not getting shot,
Yes.
we're not getting bullied, we're not getting anything. And we're good friends, we're friends of the world, global citizens. This guy, I love this guy.
Yep.
Good man.
All right,
Take care. Bye-bye. So this is the difference here. I've got to say, but something, someday, somewhere, is keeping us all fighting against one another. And I just met this guy here from Pakistan. What a great guy. He stopped, he said hello. Interested in what I'm doing, or they will talk to me, they'll ask me questions about the UK. A lot of questions where they're confused about what's happening in the UK, because the UK used to be held in such a high esteem in China. But people are really confused now about the state of the UK. They're asking themselves these questions, which is coming from a place of confusion, where the UK was seen as something, as a benchmark for democracy, or benchmark to reach for. But now we're seen as a joke, an absolute joke. We're so powerful, 65 million people in England. I mean, for God's sake, wake up. I go to one province in China and there's 60, 70, 80 million people there, and the city is flourishing. The infrastructure is flourishing. I mean, this is the other thing that I'm just confused by. The US are playing God of War on PlayStation. China's playing SimCity, man. They're building infrastructure, building bullet trains. They're building up cities. I went to a city and they had this area where there was lots of apartments built. People were saying, yeah. Not a lot of people have moved in yet, but we're not building for now. We're building for 10 years from now. And that's the difference. China's building for 10 or 50 years from now. I mean, I've lived here in China for 4 years now, nearly 5. And every day I'm impressed by what I see. But every day I'm depressed by what I see in the West. I see what could be, but I see governments like the Tory government or the Republicans splitting the Democratic vote in the US. It's just freaking mental. I mean, look at this. How cool is this? I want to pause my video and play this, because this...
像是相爱的一家人，永远灿烂相聚，有心才会真实，何必让人替我掩遮住眼睛。
This is somebody just playing music in the street here, and I paid her using WeChat to pay her 50 RMB, which is about £5 or £6, which I'm happy to pay. She's out here. Actually, she's been here Friday and Saturdays, sometimes on Sunday evenings, and she's a good musician. So I think it's great. I'm going to walk across this road. So I'm getting close to being home now, and I think I've talked a lot this evening. This is me being raw. I see that blue light in the distance there, that blue right up here. It's actually part of my apartment block, but that's one of the main nightclubs here in Beijing. So that's called May. Don't think when you're watching the bullshit that you see on the BBC, Fox News, CNN, or any of these other channels, don't think that what you're seeing is 100% accurate. It's not. This is me telling you straight what I see and what I experience in Beijing. This is me being raw, if you like. Like you, I'm probably a bit sick, fed up with it. But I think maybe China has a different way. I'm not saying it's perfect, but what I'm definitely saying is what I see happening elsewhere. UK and the US is not exactly perfect. Welcome to Beijing. Guys, follow my channel here. Somewhere I'll share more with you in the future. In the meantime, peace out.
像是相爱的一家人，永远灿烂相聚，有心在。